Hello, welcome to Southern Glance with Gail. I'm Gail. Today we're going to make black-eyed peas and collard greens because the new year is coming up. Let's get cooking. For the black-eyed peas, I use dried black-eyed peas, but you can use canned if you want. They won't take very long to cook. But the black-eyed peas, you have to kind of soak them. So the way I like to soak them the best is overnight. But didn't have time, so I cooked them for about a couple of minutes and then I just let them sit. And they've been sitting for probably about an hour and a half or so. Right now we're going to start out making some Southern Hoppin Johns, which are black-eyed peas. We're going to saute, this is bacon grease, and we're going to saute some things in there. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1 onion. New Year's is coming up, and we're going to be having these things in honor of the new year. So we're going to saute 1 whole onion and the green peppers. That's about a half of a green pepper. We're going to put in some celery. I'm also going to put in these red peppers. And we're going to go ahead and saute that. I'm going to put in a little bit of garlic with that. These are 2 cloves of garlic. We're just going to stir that. And we'll let it go. And we're going to be serving some things that symbolize health and wealth and prosperity and good luck. So the black-eyed peas, people thought that they were in luck if they could survive the winter, and black-eyed peas helped them to survive the winter. So black-eyed peas can also represent coins. We're going to make collard greens, and collard greens help us to remember the folded money, the greenbacks of it. So we're going to make that also. So we're just going to sit tight and let this saute for a little bit. So this is already, our vegetables are already sauteed. We're going to put some things right here. I'm going to pour in about 6 cups of water. These are pork hocks right here. I'm going to just slice them a little bit. We're going to put them in our water because it's going to flavor the black-eyed peas. So I didn't cut very much, but I'm just kind of slicing it through just for the flavor. And we'll save this one for the collard greens. We're going to go ahead and put our black-eyed peas in there. So we're going to drain them. Whenever you get dried black-eyed peas, it's very important to go ahead and rinse them and look through them. Make sure that there's no dirt or that the black-eyed peas have not been bitten on like by little insects, because sometimes you'll find that. But I've already done that. Now what we're going to do also, well, we put our black-eyed peas in the pot with our pork hocks. Now we're going to add our vegetables. We're going to add some more things to it. So here's our sauteed vegetables. And this is a true Southern dish. I don't remember where I got this recipe, but I've been using this since way back, probably 30 or 40 years I've been using this recipe. But as the years have evolved, then I've added more vegetables to it. Used to I'd only put onions and maybe some garlic, and now I've added the celery and red peppers and green peppers, and it just looks really pretty. Before we serve it, we're going to take the pork hock out. We're going to put in 4 bouillon cubes. These are beef, but I would have put in chicken bouillon cubes. I just didn't have them. And we're going to put in a little bit of bacon. We're going to save some of these for our collard greens. So basically, whatever you have that sounds good, you're going to put in. Let's put in a little bit of ham. And then we'll save this for the collard greens. Boy, that looks really good. Black-eyed peas. And this is Hoppin John's black-eyed peas. Okay, we're going to put in some pepper to flavor it. We're going to put in some salt. And it's already got garlic. You can put in Cajun seasoning, but I really don't like that. We might put in some more seasoning later. But we're just going to put this on the stove and we're going to let it set. We're going to let it cook for about an hour to an hour and a half. The peas need to be tender, and that's when you know that it's okay. Now we're going to start on the collard greens. And this was our tradition. And I'm going to tell you some stories, a story before we even start on the collard greens. But we did some special things. I would always cook collard greens and cornbread and black-eyed peas and sweet tea and ham hocks and I think lentils, things like that, because it was just a tradition and things meant different things as you started the year. And I wanted everybody to be on a good page of this. So we would always eat our lunch with this, and we called it lunch. And then for supper, we met at the church. There was anybody that wanted to, and we just had a regular, a special New Year's celebration. And what we did is, nobody was in charge, but everybody brought board games or card games or whatever they wanted. And you brought food to share, like snacky foods or something like that. Anyway, we met at the church and people brought whatever they wanted to eat and to play games and just to fellowship and have fun with each other to ring in the new year. And that's what we did at supper time or the end of the day. And so at 12 o'clock we all rang in the new year together and then went our merry ways. It was just fun. But this was our lunch meal. This was the first big meal that we had for the new year. So here's the collard greens. So I've got a pot, but before I started the pot, I would always take the green part off of the stem because the stem is not good. I think some people might eat it because of the nutritional value, but I just didn't. You can either cut that or you can just tear it away like I did. And then you want this in bite-sized pieces, so I just tear it like this. And if it has strings, I just got rid of it. And we put it in a pan. The other thing that you really need to do is wash it. You always need to wash this because you don't know what's been on it and you need to kind of protect it. So we're just going to go ahead. I've already done all of these other collard greens and they're ready to go. We're just going to dump them in here. And we've got one more leaf that we're just going to tear off. Just very fast. And then here's our other collard greens. I'm just going to dump those. Now collard greens will cook down quite a bit. So it won't look like this at all. It won't be nearly as full as this. We're going to put in about 6 cups of water again. We're going to put in 4 bouillon cubes. And we're going to just cut some of this pork hock. I'm not going to cut it straight through. We just want it for flavoring. That's it. Now some people like to eat it, but now we're going to go ahead and put in some bacon. The rest of that bacon that has already been cooked. And some ham. And we're going to just go ahead and cook that, and that's going to take about an hour to cook. I think we'll put in some salt and some pepper. And then let's give that a stir. I tell you what, as I'm looking at this, the 6 cups of water is not quite enough. So I can't even see the water up through here. So I'm going to add some more water to that because I want to be able to see the water. It needs to come up above the greens. So this is going to be just whatever pot that you're using. Just make sure that you've got enough water in there that it's not going to boil over. I'm going to even put in a little bit more. Okay, that might be enough. As it's cooking, you need to always make sure that the water is not boiling down and that it's going to cook so it's not going to burn. We're going to check it periodically, but we're not going to come back until after it's about done, probably about an hour. Okay, we're done for right now. And we're finished. It's finished cooking. And we have Hoppin' John's black-eyed peas. We have collard greens right here. And I also made some lentils because you need to have lentils to go underneath your Hoppin' John's black-eyed peas. Lentils is also served on New Year's Day because it brings luck and prosperity too. So anyway, we're going to dish this out. We're going to first of all put the lentils right here. And all I did for the lentils was I followed the directions on the bag. These are dried lentils, just like the dried black-eyed peas. So you put the lentils first, the black-eyed peas on top, and you want a little bit of juice with them. And then on the side, you put your collard greens. Gary and I both wish you a
Happy New Year.